So again, we're going to do some review first, then go over homework, then depend on time, review more, quiz, then you're going to work on your review packet for homework. Your test is next class. Okay, so we're going to start off by just factoring some decently simple ones. Remember, the very first thing you check is it in standard form? Yes, it is. Good. And do we have a GCF? That's my next thing. Just one. Yeah, my GCF is just one. I want everyone listening and paying attention. My GCF is just one. Because it's only one, we don't need to factor it out. So let's go ahead into our T-chart. And we want what multiplies to 8, but adds to 6. Remember, if you're stuck on this part, first just list out all of your factors. Then from there, decide which ones satisfy this. 2 and 4, good. So now that I have my lucky winners, alright, so we have our lucky winners. We fire the middle guy and replace him with those 2 new lucky winners.
Don't let yourself fall down that hole. What?
Alright, what comes next? Good, we need to box it up. It's time to do a workout. Box
Did you
it up.
finish this one?
Yeah, I think that one's just another one, and I lost that one.
Alright,
I think I might have
first
it.
box.
Alright, if you
What
find
can
it,
I factor
close
out? What's
this
my
one. Did you have
GCF
it?
for these
Did you
two?
finish this one?
Good.
Finish it.
Okay. And if it helps, you can
Very
write
good,
the
Kevin. I
1.
like how much work you
If it helps you out, go ahead and write the division here. So I have x plus 2 is left behind. Now my next box.
I just do everything last second, so I'll learn now.
My next box, what's my GCF? Good, alright.
You called, did I skip you, Jim?
Can you move out of the way?
Alright, Jason. If my GCF is 4, what's left behind? Good. Plus 2. Good. End of the box, end of my parentheses. Okay, Friday, are my parentheses the same? Yes, so we factor those out. So we have x plus 2. And what's left behind now? Good, x plus 4. Alright, before we can say that it's our answer, what do we need to do?
Check.
Good, we gotta check it.
Is there anyone that has homework that did not get checked?
Alright, when we multiply this out, I get x squared plus 4x plus 2x plus 8, which is x squared plus 6x plus 8. Does that match? Yes, okay, so that's our answer. Alright, questions on number 1. Alright, so let's do number 2 now. Is it in standard form?
Yeah.
Do we have a GCF? GCF is just 1. Since it's only 1, we don't factor it out. T-chart. Alright. Katia. How do I know what goes in my T-chart? What goes in this first box? Good, yeah. 1 times 9, which is 9. And Natalie, what goes in the next box? Good, negative 10. Our middle term. Alright, 2 numbers that multiply to 9 but add to negative 10. your stuff, just start listing out your factors of 9. Now we see that it needs to both be negative or both be positive to multiply to 9. But since it has to add to be negative, I know that they both need to be negative. If you're not sure, check all options. Okay, which one adds to give us negative 10?
Everyone.
Good. So we rewrite it, firing the middle guy and replacing him with our 2 new ones. Alright, what do we do next? What's next?
Review the boxes and then find.
Good, we do our boxes. It's time to do our workout. Box it up. And what can I factor out of here? Good, Y. And Jason Velasco, what's left behind?
Y squared.
Y minus 1.
Is it-
End of box, end of my parentheses, always put a plus. If that helps you out, draw your little division. Alright, next box. Right. What can I factor out of these? Good, a 9. And then what's left behind, right? I divide each of these by 9. What's 9 divided by 9? Good, so plus 1. End of my box, end of my parentheses. Adriana, do my box, or do my parentheses match? No. You're right, they don't! What did I mess up? Hassan, where did I mess up? Anybody see where my mistake was? Drew? Where? Right, it has to be a negative 9. See how checking that helps me to catch my mistake? That should have been a negative 9, right? Alright, because negative 1 plus negative 9 gives me negative 10y. If I had negative 1 and positive 9, that would have given me that. Okay, so then what should I have factored out instead? A negative 9. Okay, which would change this guy here to a negative 9. Oh, how perfect for that nice little check to be in there. Okay, Adriana, now do they match? Yes. Now they match, I can move on. Factor that out. Y minus 1. Left behind is y. Plus negative 9, which is just minus 9. For sake of time, I'm not going to have us check it because I want to keep moving on to do some more practice with this. But make sure you do check it on your test and your quiz.
Oh yeah.
Let's keep going. Alright, questions on number 2. Okay. Next up, number 2. Standard form?
Already done.
GCF? Okay. Alright, Jason. What makes my table here?
7.
Hold on. First what's on top?
Oh, never mind. I messed up. I messed up. I was gonna say 7 times 80. But
Well,
the
first
eight wasn't
let's figure out the table here.
well, 56 and negative.
Good. 56 and negative 1. So it multiplies to 56 and adds to negative 1. Okay? So again, if you're stuck, list all your factors. But where did you say you figured it out? No? Does anybody know what you
8
got?
times 7.
8 times 7. But because we have to have one of my, because I have to have it add to be negative, that means that at least one of them needs to be negative, right?
They both have to be
But they both have to be negative. Why, Jason?
because it's positive.
Because it's a positive 56 when we multiply, so they both have to be negative. So that doesn't work. We can do 1 and 56, right? But that's not going to work. What else can we do? 2 and
28.
good. But is that going to add and give you -1?
No.
Okay, so let's try 3. Does 3 work? Does 3 work? Check on your calculators. Does 3 go into 56 nicely?
No.
No. Okay, so let's try 4. Does 4 go into it nicely? 4 and what? 4 and 14, good. But that doesn't work, does it?
No.
Does 5 work?
No.
Does 6 work? 6 work.
None of them work.
None of them work, so what? What do we do then? Prime. Here's our one and only prime. Again, you must have your T-chart showing the possible factors, and then write prime. Does everyone else thinks it's straight for calculator? Okay, number 4. Is it in standard form? Is it in standard form? Yeah. What's my GCF?
1.
Good, 1. So we don't need to factor it out. Time to do our T-chart.
-24.
Good, -24.
2.
Adds to 2. Alright, so what two numbers satisfy that?
-4. 6.
-4, 6, I agree. Okay, -4 plus 6 is indeed 2. Okay, so these are our lucky winners. So we get to fire the middle guy, fire the middle man, and replace him with -4y plus 6y. Now we have 4 terms. If you try boxing it first, you're going to notice you don't have enough terms to box it. So you have to break it up first before you can do your boxes. Alright, my first box. What's my GCF here? What can I factor out?
1.
1. Good. 1y. So if we divide by y, we're left with y minus 4. In my next box, always put a plus sign. What can I factor out here? 2? I think 2, but is there something larger that I can factor out? I agree, or not 4. 3 also works, but I think something larger. 6, yes. Remember, try your smallest number first. Then do factors of that. Alright, so you can take out a 6, and I have y minus 4. Divide each one by 6. Okay, and in my box and my parentheses. Gerardo, are my parentheses the same? Yes. Since they are the same, I know I've done it correctly so far. I can factor those out. And Gabby, what's left? How do I factor this out? Which thing? Y plus 6. Y plus 6. Again, for sake of time, I'm not going to make us check this, but you should be checking. Alright, so what is the leading coefficient for each of these problems up here? What's the leading coefficient?
Oh, 1.
Variable.
1, yes! My leading coefficient, this is extremely important. Drew, Philip, listen please. This is extremely important. My leading coefficient for each of these was 1. Alright, so write that down. What is leading coefficient? 1. Alright, what else do we notice about the problems above? What do you notice about your winners and your factors? What about your winners here and your factors?
They're the same.
What about your winners here and your factors?
They're the same.
Ah, So we see that the factors from the chart are the factors for the answer. So this is actually a shortcut you can use for these types of problems. But, and this is a huge, huge, huge thing you need to check. This shortcut only works when the leading coefficient is 1. So write that down. The leading coefficient is 1. If it's not 1, you cannot use this shortcut. The biggest mistake I see from students is that they learn this shortcut and then they try to do it all the time, and then they get half the problems wrong. You can only use a shortcut when your leading coefficient is 1. Alright, so now that we know this shortcut, let's try it out. Is my leading coefficient 1?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so we can use our shortcut. So if you have your leading coefficients 1, go ahead and write shortcut. To let you know you can do it. Okay, so now let's create our chart. What multiplies to -10 and adds to 3? Alright, what two numbers multiply to -10 but add to 3? -2 and 5? Do we agree?
Yes.
Yes. Alright, so that means our answer is x minus 2 times, parentheses, x plus 5.
That's it.
You don't have to do this. If you don't like this, if you feel unsure about it, you don't have to do this. I honestly forgot this was a shortcut until sophomore year of college when I was helping somebody out. And I was like, man, how's she able to skip it right there?
Yo, that's clutch. I like that. Man, you better mess it up. Nice, easy. It works.
You can do this on test and quiz. You can do this for the SL only when your leading coefficient is 1. And it's exactly your factors here or your factors here. Now remember, we should check to make sure we did it right. Alright, so let's check this. Put your feet down on the
I gotta go. So, third period.
Alright, so we have to check this to make sure we did indeed do it right. So you still have a way to know if you did the problem incorrectly so that you can fix it before you turn in your test. We multiply this out, we get x squared plus 5x minus 2x minus 10. We can combine those together. And does that match?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we know we did it right. We know we did the shortcut correctly. If you don't like
I
it,
like it.
don't do it. It's perfectly fine. Like I said, I didn't do it for a very long time. Okay. So then this next problem, is it in standard form?
Yeah.
Do we have a GCF? What's our GCF? Right, so our GCF is just 1. Can I do the shortcut?
Yeah.
Yes! Okay, so shortcut. Make our chart. What multiplies to -20 and adds to -8? Man, you are on it. Close. What's -2 plus 10? Right, they just positive. So how can we change it then?
-10 to.
Very good, Jonathan. Make my 2 negative. Or sorry, make my 2 positive and my 10 negative. So make sure you double check it. Okay. Now that we have our winners, check it. Or sorry, not check it. Write the shortcut. X plus 2 Oh, you're right, it's y. Thank you, alright.
Oh, I did X.
Y. Good. Y plus 2, y minus 10. Okay, let's check it to make sure we did our shortcut correctly. Y plus 2, y minus 10, y squared. Negative 10y plus 2y minus 20. We can combine these together. Y squared minus 8y. Does this match? Good, it works. Your turn. Okay, questions on that so far?
No.
Alright, remember, it only works when leading coefficient is
1.
uno. Alright, next problem. Number 7, is it in standard form?
Yeah.
Do we have a GCF?
Yeah.
What's my GCF?
Yeah.
You look at your smallest number, does that work for all three of them? And by golly, it does.
No, you can't.
No, yeah, I know.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
Alright, so when we have our GCF, we have to factor that out. So let's factor it out. I like to use the brackets. If it helps you to draw in your division, please do so. Alright, so what are we left with then? Y squared
Minus 10y.
minus 10y.
Plus. Come on, Bill.
16. Good job, Jason.
Yeah.
Did you do that one in your head?
Yeah.
That's impressive. No, he didn't touch the calculator. I watched. Look, it's off. Well done. Good work, sir. Alright. Now, after we factor out the GCF, we have to break this down, right? We have to factor this guy. So the next step would be to do the t-chart, right? Let's go do our t-chart. So it multiplies to 16. And it adds to negative 10.
Can't
What
do
two numbers satisfy those requirements?
Times 2.
Negative 2, negative 8. Okay, now I agree with you that in the beginning my leading coefficient was not 1, it was 3, right? But now since I'm only factoring this guy, what's my leading coefficient of this guy?
1.
1. So I actually can do the shortcut here. Because 3 is my GCF. He's just hanging out in front, right? So when I'm factoring just this guy, I can use my shortcut because this polynomial has a leading coefficient of 1. So what would be the shortcut for this? What would we get? Y minus 2, y minus 8?
Yeah.
Right? Y minus 2, y minus 8 for this, using the shortcut. And remember, your GCF is still hanging out in front. He always comes along for the ride. So you stick him in front, and then you're done. Again, you don't have to use a shortcut, but you may. And the reason why we're allowed to use it here is because after we have taken out our GCF, then my leading coefficient is 1. That allows us to use it. So this will be your answer here. Again, you should check it. And let's go ahead and check it. We've got that. Just write your check
Is the
small.
quiz like 4 questions?
Actually, I think it's exact.
Okay, Jason.
Okay,
Yeah, we don't
so
have
to check it, I say we should multiply our parentheses together first. So leave your 3 hanging out in front. We get y squared minus 8y minus 2y plus 16. So we get y squared minus 10y plus 16. Oh, looks like we're on the right track, right? Looks like it matches. 3y squared minus 30y plus 48. Does it match? Yep. So that's your answer. Questions so far? Okay, next one. Y squared minus 36. Is it in standard form?
I think it's
What's my GCF? Okay, so there's nothing to factor out. But see, we're missing that middle term. Remember, we did this last class. Let's rewrite it. Put the 0 in. Okay, now let's make our chart. Give you a couple seconds to get caught up. Those of us that are just laying back and watching this one. Alright, what goes in my chart? And what else do we have? 0. Yeah. Are we allowed to do the shortcut here? Yeah! Leading coefficients 1. Shortcut!
-6.
It's like when you're playing Candyland and you are so excited because you draw the card that lets you go over the bridge.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Or Chutes and Ladders when you go down the chute.
No.
Snakes.
Snakes and ladders. Alright,
I like spoons.
what two numbers multiply to be negative 36?
-6
Add to be 0.
times 6.
Negative 6 times 6 is that going to be negative 36?
Yeah.
Negative 6 plus 6 gives me 0. Alright, so these are my lucky winners. Shortcut. Y minus 6 times y plus 6. Now we gotta check it. Alright, let's check and see if our shortcut works. Get y squared plus 6y minus 6y minus 36. Should have got the same thing. We should all be writing this down. Should all be writing this down. Not yet. Not yet.
I already put this down. I just want to put down.
Okay. What can we combine together?
Oh, 6y and -6y.
And that gives me
Cross out.
0. So we don't write 0, or we don't write anything there.
Yeah.
Minus 36. Some of you guys on your last test were writing a y with a 0. Okay, so did it work? Whoops, I circled the wrong thing. Did it work? Did we match? Yes. That's right. Alright, questions on that one? Okay, number 9. Is it in standard form?
Yeah.
What's our GCF?
Is that a V?
It's a V.
Or is it a cutoff block?
It's a V. What's our GCF?
10.
Try your smallest number. Does 8 go into 10?
No.
2.
11 and going to 2, Jason.
Oh.
So if we look at our factors
I
of
think
8,
about 10.
we have 1 and 8, 2 and 4. Does 8 work? No. Does 4 go into 10 and 11? No. Does 2 go into 10? Yes. Does it go into 11 though? No. So what's my GCF?
1.
1. So there's nothing we can factor out.
Shortcut.
Alright. Now next up is our T-chart. What multiplies to negative 80? Should be writing this down.
Yeah.
Multiplies to negative 80 and adds to 11. We have 1 and 80, 2, 40. Can we do 3? 4 and 20. Can we do 5? 16. Oh, what alright? Because we have to make it negative, right? So since it adds to be positive, in the end, when we put these two numbers together, we have positive. So my larger number needs to be positive. So my smaller number is negative. And Elroy, you're right. -5 and 6. Now, can I do my shortcut here? Adriana, what's my leading coefficient? My leading coefficient is 10. So can I do my shortcut? No! Don't do your shortcut unless what, Jason? When can I do my shortcut? When can I do the shortcut? Good, when the leading coefficient is 1. We cannot do the shortcut here. There's no crossing over the bridge in Candyland. In fact, you probably got sent back to that mud pit.
There's a mud pit.
Isn't there a
Yeah,
mud pit?
and a mud pit.
It looks like a fudge box.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have to do the long way.
Now you know.
So now, let's review doing the long way. Alright, so we have 10b squared minus 5b plus 16b minus, whoops, I lost my b. And if you thought you could have done the shortcut, when you checked it, you would have seen it didn't work. So that's why it's important to check. Okay, so reviewing what the other way is to factor, what do we do next?
We do the boxes and then factor.
Alright, we couldn't do boxes yet because we only have 3 terms, but now we can do our boxes. What can I factor on my first 2 terms? 5. Anything else? B, good. And if it helps you to draw the division, go ahead and do so. So I have 2b minus what? 1. Good. End of the box, end of the parentheses, always put. Do you have a question, Mark? 10 divided by 5 is 2. Other questions so far? You have a question? So my next box, what can I factor out of here?
All 8.
Good. And I have left.
Oh,
2b
Minus 1.
minus 1.
Wow.
Jose! Are my parentheses the same? Yes! They're the same! So we can factor that out. And Jason Panada, I'm going to call on you next for the next piece. Alright, Jason, now that I've factored that out, what's left? What else though?
5B.
Good. 5b plus 8. Let me show you why the shortcut doesn't work here. If we would have tried the shortcut, you would have had y minus 5 times y plus 16. Well, when you start to check that, what's y times y? Y squared? Does that give you 10? No, we can't get a number in front unless we have that coefficient. Alright, Drew, did you have a question?
No.
no, I did. Oh my. I actually did it.
I want to go back
We'll
up.
just take matters into my own
Yeah.
hands.
Yay!
You doubt my strength.
Super strange.
Alright. Remember we should check it?
Oh, you can't.
What do you mean we can't check it? We should always check.
Okay, 10b squared.
Oh wow, you're fast. Okay, hold on. 10b squared. Jason's not messing around. Okay, we got the first step. What's next?
16b.
We have 16b. Drew, leave your desk where it was.
I'm a friend.
Minus 5b. Minus 8. What do these combine to be?
11b.
I'm gonna get back.
Oh my goodness.
Did it work? Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's right. Questions on that? Okay, next one. Number 10. Is it in standard form? Yes. What's my GCF? I agree.
What? It's right. Yes.
Oh.
Well, let's take a look at our factors.
Fast.
Because we want to start with their smallest number, right? If I look at my factors at 21, I have 1 and 21. 3 and 7. 21's not going to go into 70. It's an even number. But 7 does go into all those. Very good, Albert. 7. Can we take out a Z? Can we take out a Z?
Yes.
I hear yeses and I hear nos. Why not? Good. 49 doesn't have a Z, so I can't take out something if it's not there. Alright, let's factor out our GCF. When I factor it out, I get 3 Z squared. Good, minus 10Z plus 7. Alright? Yeah, these are Z's. Sorry. Okay, let's do our table next. And Natalie, what goes in my table? So remember, we want to do a table of these numbers. Now that we've factored out the 7, we use the smaller numbers. It's easier to work with that way. Good. P1 and negative 10. What two numbers satisfy those requirements? Good. Negative 3 and negative 7. All right. Kevin Granados. Can I do the shortcut? No. And Jonathan, why can I not do the shortcut?
Because of the coefficient.
What is the coefficient?
3.
Good. Thank you, Kevin and Jonathan. My coefficient, my leading coefficient is 3, so I cannot, and I say again, I cannot do the shortcut. We have to do this one the long, old-fashioned. I love the long, old-fashioned. All right. These are our winners. Fire your middle guy and replace him. Remember, it doesn't matter which order you put these two middle terms in. It can be flipped. Our GCF is the conductor on this train. He's just coming along for the ride. So he's hanging out in front. Okay, now that we have 4 terms, now we can box it up. What's my GCF here? 3. They're both 3s, right? 3Z. Drew, what's left behind? If I take out a 3Z.
You got a Z.
Good, we have a Z, and what else?
-1.
Good, very good. You guys giggle, but he just nailed it.
Oh, we're like
Yeah.
Stop. Moving
Right,
your
it's
desk. Next time you move it, you're sitting over here.
next to that, Jason?
Right here. Alright, next box. This is a tricky one. What can I factor out? Negative 7. Good. You must factor out that negative in front when there's a negative. Okay. What's left behind now? Good. -1. Good. End of box, end of parentheses. Gotta finish that bracket. average in my parentheses match? Yes. So we know we've done that correctly. My GCF is still hanging out in front. My parentheses match, so I take that out. And Gabby, what's left behind now? Negative 7 and the 3z. So 3z minus 7. Go from left to right. Okay, good. Again, you should check it, but for sake of time, I'm not going to make it. Alright, questions on that? Okay, let's move down. So these guys. What?
I'm ready for
Questions?
4. We already discussed it.
See that 4 or 5? There might be.
I'm ready for it. Right now.
And I gave you like half a page for each problem to work on.
Oh, thank God.
Plenty of it. Alright, number 17 says which of the following binomials, what does it mean to be a binomial? What does that mean? Two terms, good! Which of the following binomials is a factor of this polynomial? Can we do the shortcut here?
Yes.
Yeah! So let's figure out our chart. What multiplies to negative 8 and adds to negative 2.
Negative 4. 2.
Negative 4, positive 2. So my shortcut then, x minus 4 times x plus 2. Positive 2 plus 2. Which of these matches one of those? D? Does C work? Close, but it doesn't work. So just D. Now they do like to give you those ones, the ones that we had on our notes that first day where you had to shade in the correct answer. Or maybe that was yesterday. Was it on the homework too? They love those types of questions. Yes, we'll definitely have it. Okay, number 18. Hey, can we do the shortcut on this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what multiplies to negative 28 and adds to negative 3. Just like that warm-up on the second day. What two numbers multiply to negative 28 that add to negative 3? Negative 7 and 4. He is on fire. Good. If I add these together, I get negative 3. If I multiply, I get negative 28. Okay. We can do our shortcut. It's a C, so we need to use the letter C. C minus 7. C plus 4. Which are these matches?
C. For the last
C.
time, Elroy.
C. And remember, to make sure you did it right, we can check.
No.
C squared plus 4C.
I'm not even moving anymore.
Now you don't have to scroll. You can see the board so well. Minus 28.
That's bad for your eyes.
Is that to be negative 3C? So we can see that we did it right. Alright. Questions on that? Okay. How are we feeling with factory?
Bad.
Show me thumbs up, thumbs middle, thumbs down. How do you feel so?
Come on, Jake.
On the quiz, is there going to be a question where we can use a little shortcut? Jason, that should be, you should figure that out.
I don't remember. There's at least one. Alright, those of you that were down, what can I do for you? What don't you understand?
I never said that. I was like this.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Are there any
Give us the
questions
answers.
before, huh?
No.
Give you the answers? That's not you learning.
That's
Alright.
never-
Yeah, because there's something I can do to help you.
Actually,
Do you have a question?
You just answer to explain how.
The long ones, like... Let's find one. I think it's down here. Like number 9 here? Yeah. Okay, so let's just... Once more, let's recap how to do the long original way, since you can't use a shortcut every
I
single
can do
time.
it.
So always first check for a GCF. If you have a GCF that comes out, actually look at 10 because it has your GCF. Your GCF is just going to be coming down the whole time. He doesn't do anything more once you factor him out. He just stays in front the whole time. After you have found your GCF, then you want to set up your table using the smaller numbers though. So first times last, 7 times 3 gives me 21. And my middle term is -10. That's my teacher. So always do it with your smaller numbers after you factor out. Alright, and your t-chart is what you do every single time, whether it's shortcut or not. So what multiplies to the outside, adds to the inside. When you find those factors, then fire your middle guy and replace it with those 2 terms. That allows me to have a box around these 2 and a box around these 2. Otherwise, you can't do a box. So now let's do the box of the first 2, and we just do GCF all over again. Again, 7's hanging out. GCF of these is 3z. If it helps you out, Gabby, go ahead and write the divide by 3z. Back to 3z.
Jason, that's
They're really
off
necessary.
topic. That's
No.
off topic.
Alright, so we divide by each of these. Divide 3z squared by 3z, and that leaves me with just 1z. 3z divided by 3z is -1. The z is reduced. And then we do the same thing for my other side. Make sure, guys, you always have that parenthesis or that addition sign after your parentheses. Okay? Find your GCF of your second box. If there's a negative in front, always factor that out. And if it helps, go ahead and write what you're dividing by. -7. -7 divided by -7 is +1. Z divided by no other is just Z. 7 divided by -7 is -1. Now here's where you can check. Your insides should match. If they don't match, that means you did something wrong. So go back and check your previous steps. But once they match, again, 7 GCF comes down along to the right. These come together here. And then take your thumb, although I'm going to take the fist, cover up what you just factored out, and what's left behind is 3z -7. That gives you your second factor. And always check it to make sure you did it right. I factored it out, or followed it out. Other questions? Yes, Bruce?
I mean, I understand everything else, it's just that I don't know how you get 3z squared on the short numbers. On the top, right top, yeah.
These?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So when I have my GCF, I'm factoring this out. So what I'm doing, if it helps you out, since I have a GCF of 7, I'm essentially dividing each of these by 7. So 21 divided by my GCF, 7 is 3. And I still have Z squared. -7 divided by 7 is -10. And I still have Z. And then 49 divided by 7 is 7. It's the same idea of what you do down here, but you're doing it to the whole thing. Other questions? Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to give you the quiz. You have plenty of time for it. Once you finish your quiz, then you'll just start working on the review packet, so you get a jump start on your homework. Your homework is the review packet, and your test is next
And our
class.
notebook grade.
Yes, make sure you have your notebook gathered together.
Wait, that grade go to the third or
It's going, I think they're,
Look at this smart guy.
I think so.
That's a little booster grade up like this.
Sure, I hope so.
Whoa,
So
wait,
make
wait,
sure you
wait.
have your
No, that's not right. This one's perfect. See, he said a 9.
like this.
Yeah.
This works. Yes, yes, after I pass out this thing. Okay, so go ahead and clear off your desks. And we'll get going on the quiz.
The lessons you got coming on Wednesday.